Alright, Joe here. Yes, I am joined by Jeffrey and Kenny. No, the tank doesn't need a clean out. I cleaned it on the weekend. That is like swim bladder treatment. It's dyed the water a sort of bright yellow/green, but it will stop them just floating on the surface like they're dead. Because that has been worrying me recently. They do it a lot. Anyway, this is the show that looks at football on the internet over the past few days. A few days that's seen Gareth Bale really making the most of self-isolation.
Is it his time?
Yes! Ricky Puig going full do perfect. Yeah! And Sergio Aguero find himself a new training partner. Anyway, this week we need to talk about Belarus. Over the past few weeks, Europe's biggest leagues have all hit the pause button. The Premier League have an estimated return date of about April the 30th, which right now seems quite optimistic. La Liga is suspended indefinitely, as is Serie A, Ligue 1, the Bundesliga, the Eredivisie, you name it, they have suspended it. Well, all except the Belarusian Premier League. Yes, that's right, the only football being played in Europe right now is being played in Belarus. And to fully understand why it's still being played, I need to introduce you to our clown of the week. Belarusian president since I was born in 1994 is Alexander Lukashenko. Now Lukashenko, who has a pretty checkered political past in the first place, has been refuting all and any current coronavirus information. In fact, he played in a hockey match, an ice hockey match, at the weekend in front of a crowd of thousands. And afterwards, he was talking to the press.
Здесь нет вирусов никаких. Вот ты же не заметила, что они летают? И я тоже не вижу. Это холодильник. Спорт, особенно лед, холодильник этот. Антивирусное лекарство, самое настоящее.
I think somebody urgently needs to tell Mr. Lukashenko that you can't physically see the virus jumping from person to person. It doesn't work like that. You need a microscope to be able to see it. A big one at that. It's not like some little flea just jumping about infecting everybody. Wake up, Alexander. And to be honest with you, he's gone even further than that, hasn't he? The authoritarian leader of Belarus said that if the citizens drank 50 mils of vodka a day, it would ward off the virus. You know, a shot of vodka a day keeps coronavirus away, according to Lukashenko. Obviously, the World Health Organization don't agree. And I think we should all be siding with the World Health Organization right now. He's also stated that regular trips to the sauna, working in fields, and having breakfast on time, so have your Cocoa Pops at 8:30, not 8:35, are the best way to stay healthy. And has dismissed all of the measures being taken across Europe as frenzy and psychosis. Oh. In fact, Mr. Lukashenko has even gone as far as to say that Belarus will still celebrate Victory Day on the 9th of May, which is where all of the veterans from World War II in Belarus get together and parade through the streets, have a big party. Everybody else in Europe is saying, look after the elderly. Keep them inside, they are vulnerable to the virus. Mr. Lukashenko, get them on the streets. You know, get them all together in one big lump. We'll have a party. What is he thinking? Now, despite the fact that this goes against all advice from the World Health Organization, the Premier League did still take place, and it is attracting numbers never seen before, obviously, because there's no football to watch in Europe, so everybody has just gone, yeah, why not? I'll watch a bit of Dynamo Minsk. In fact, playing on in Belarus has allowed them to secure broadcasting deals in a host of countries. Over 10 new countries have signed up to broadcast the Belarusian Premier League, including the likes of Russia, Israel, and India, because obviously fans right now have got nothing to watch. Belarusian Football Federation spokesman Alexander Alaniki, I don't know, take your pick from the three above, said precautions were being taken to allow the games to go ahead. We've taken all the measures recommended by the Sports Ministry. All those who are in contact with fans are supplied with gloves. Are you sure? Because looking at the photos, this one in particular, doesn't look much like social distancing to me. Everybody's got the shirt off, Everybody's an inch apart, everybody's partying, shouting, dancing. Now, we are already 2 games into the Belarusian season, but on the weekend there was a big shock. Dynamo Minsk, the 7-time Premier League winners in Belarus, had a player sent off in the 58th minute, and they lost to local rivals FC Minsk. You know, a lot of people will be wanting their Minsk updates. Well, Dynamo lost to FC this week, and Alexander Strock, who is a spokesperson for Dynamo Minsk, rather than sort of saying, look, we shouldn't be playing football at the moment, there is a worldwide pandemic going on, said that he hoped that players would get more responsible because millions around the world are tuning in. Just the attitude we need to combat this thing. And fans around the world have also started supporting teams, haven't they? David Watson here said that by the end of the season, everyone will have a team they support in Belarus. So I've decided I'm going to be doing a little Belarusian Premier League update of the week. Breaking news. Slutsk lost 1-0 to Dynamo Brest. The names are interesting over there. Barte lost to Slavia, and in the Minsk derby, it was 3-2 to Minsk. Now overall, there are 9.5 million people in Belarus. There have only been 94 reported cases of the coronavirus so far, but if this continues, expect those numbers to take a sharp incline. Moving on to the good, the bad and the ugly. The good this week is about the Premier League's return, because initial discussions have taken place as to how that could happen, with one suggestion being World Cup style camps. Now, these camps would be located in the Midlands and London over June and July, where each team would stay in an isolated location and play a game sort of every 3 days, just like the World Cup. And it would allow all 92 games to be played over the course of 6 to 8 weeks, with every single match being broadcast, which would be unreal. Obviously, they'd be played behind closed doors, which wouldn't be great, but this would be a TV mega event, and I, for one, would love to see it. As long as everybody's safe and it doesn't put no extra strain on the NHS. Just adding that. The bad this week is about Mike Ashley and Sports Direct. Yes, he's reared his head again. Obviously, last week he refuted the government's demands to shut the shops, instead keeping Sports Direct open because he felt it was an essential service. Yes, getting your big, fat Sports Direct mug is an essential service, according to Mike Ashley. Well, the government said no, made him close, and today he has put out a statement saying that he is deeply apologetic about the misunderstandings over the last few days, and that he will learn from this and try not to make the same mistakes in the future. Typical Mike. The ugly this week is about Jack Grealish, because The Guardian this week are reporting that police are investigating him after he was pictured at a traffic incident, obviously in the UK. At the moment, we are under lockdown. You're not allowed to leave the house unless it is for essential shopping or 1 piece of exercise per day. Let's see what happens with this story over the next few days. But if you are in the UK right now, please just stay at home. Just stay inside. So that's it from this week's episode of We Need to Talk. If you enjoyed it, make sure you go and watch yesterday's episode of Sunday Isolation Vibes that we shot over Skype. Didn't look the best, but it got the job done. There's also loads of content over on Euro Football Daily. Follow us on Snapchat as well, because we do a new episode of We Need to Talk every single day, me and Zach. Thanks very much for watching. Goodbye.